Hi there, this is Linda and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. You guys, it is December daily season again. And so I'm back to flip through my completed 2025 December daily. Let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, you guys, it is already 2026 December daily season. I cannot believe that this snuck up on us. I'm still completely undecided with what I want to do for 2026. I have some ideas, but they are a few very different ideas going in very different directions. So I have not yet committed to anything. But for now, I wanted to come on here and share a look at my completed 2025 December daily album because I have not yet done that, even though I did wrap this up last year. And this is something I've been doing the past couple of years, just sharing a flip through as the new season comes along, because it's so much fun for me to do this flip through to kind of get myself in the mood. Before we dive in, a little bit of background. So I have been doing December daily since 2012. And I have completed December daily every single year except for one since 2012. And that's a lot of albums. If you don't know what December daily is, this is a project that was started by Ali Edwards. I don't think she was the first one to start this concept, but she was the first one to kind of call it December daily and bring it to life in the way that it is now, which is essentially you create an album. It can be a journal, it can be a book, it can be a photo book, whatever you want, that tells one story per day, December 1st through 25th, to document the holiday season. I have done a range of sizes, and I have a lot of content here on YouTube of flipping through my previous albums, album plans, album progress. I have a lot of process videos. So if you're interested in seeing more December daily content, I will link all of that in the description box below, as well as Ali Edwards' website if you are not familiar with her. For my album for 2025, I went super small and I did this little chunky album, which I think is 4.5 by 4.5 inches, something about that size. And I used this little mini album from Jamaica Makes. I'm not sure if she's creating albums anymore, but I will link her website. She does album drops every so often. And they're these like acrylic albums that you put with rings. I've done a few of them and I really love doing them for December daily. So I decorated my cover with this chipboard piece, and I added some thread on here with some little beads just to add a little bit of fun, and I'm super thrilled with how that came together. So I started the album with just a little intro page that says 2025. I used a lot of products. Most of my products are from Ali Edwards. If something jumps out at me as from somewhere else, I will name it, but otherwise assume it's Ali Edwards or it's old from my stash and I don't have the information. A lot of this was the 2025 collection from Ali Edwards, but many things were from other years. I have done foundation pages in the past, but I don't want to do this size album. I think maybe I did a little bit. I can't quite remember, but I do have process videos and videos on my channel from the 2025 December daily season. So I started my album with a reason why, and I just wanted, my reason why was to celebrate the simple joys. So I just made this very simple page to document that. And then we move into December 1st. December 1st, my story was about decorating the tree, which I usually do right after Thanksgiving, so not actually on December 1st. So I took this photo of the tree decorated, and I have Pumpkin here looking at it. And I like that you can kind of see it's still fall outside, not yet Christmas or winter. And then I have this card. This is from In a Creative Bubble, and it is a digital printable. She has a digital shop, and I have quite a few of her digitals because they're super cute. And then I included this photo of my ornaments that were new this year, which I absolutely love. I wanted that fun like rainbow and the little decoration from the kit from this year. We got our first snow on December 2nd, so I actually embroidered some little snowflakes on here, which I absolutely love. And we got 7.3 inches. You can see I did some very, very simple journaling. On the first, I did a little bit more, but most of my pages, I didn't do a ton of journaling because I wanted to just focus more on the crafting If you don't know, I keep a daily journal, so I consistently wanted to keep up with that during December, so I made this project more about the crafting. I wrapped gifts. So on the 3rd, I shared my wrapping paper that I picked out this season. And then some of my stories are just super simple. So the 4th, I just have a photo of my coffee next to the tree and the gifts starting to pile up. The 5th, I just created this little insert with a big 5. Again, just playing with the products and having a lot of fun with it. I added a bunch of word phrase strips on the back of the 5. So what I did was I used this 5, which was this like clear plastic 5 or white, like it's semi-transparent. I used it as a template to create a backwards 5 on white cardstock. And then I covered it with word phrase strips and then cut along the trace lines to add that on the back. And I just did a currently list. So I did reading, watching, working, and scrolling. For the 6th, I did cozy hobbies. So my boyfriend was working on Legos and I was working on a puzzle. So I told that story and I put a little tag inside here in this insert to tell that little story. And I like just having like the ribbon and the vellum and like all the different textures. And then I love the his and hers side by side like that. The 7th was my advent calendar. And then for the 8th, I didn't really do anything. I just wanted to do a photo of my house. I have my Christmas lights out, my wreath, the snow. You can just kind of see the feel of the season. The 9th, I wanted to tell the story about drinking tea in the evenings. So I have my tea here by the fireplace and the tree with the lights. I loved these little banners that were part of the main kit last year. And then I put a big 9 here on a vellum piece. I decorated the back and then did my journaling on this side. These pieces are from Cocoa Daisy. I think it was their October collection from 2025, had a tea theme, so it worked perfectly for that story. A couple simple pages here. So the 10th, I just wanted to do a photo of my coffee corner, which changes every so often. So I like to grab a picture of it every year or throughout the season, especially in the holiday season with my decorations. And then I was super busy at work, so I just did a very simple work spread. I don't really share a lot of what I do at work in here or in any of my albums and things because it is confidential and also kind of boring for, my memory keeping perspective. So I just wanted to document that I was working a lot. For the 12th, I did a really fun page. I had a lot of fun with this and I wanted to do making a list and like Christmas shopping. I stamped this out and it didn't really fit, so I wasn't thrilled with how this one came together, but I made this transparent insert by adding these little gifts on top of a transparent piece here and adding a 12, and I love it. I think that might be my favorite page in this. And then I did 3 little stories about gifts from this year. The 13th, we baked cookies. The 14th, I finished my puzzle. Again, keeping it super simple to make this come together easily. The 15th, I just made a note to how it was kind of being a difficult season for me and then just put it with this cute photo of pumpkin. And then I went to Brooklyn for work. So that was the 16th. So I did some journaling about that, about going to the city. And I grabbed this photo while I was in the city. There's a couple like craft adjacent stores near where I work in Brooklyn. So I went there and took this photo. I think this is of like oil pastels. And I thought it was super pretty. So I put that. And then for the 16th, which was the rest of that, I have some more photos from it. My sushi place that I always go. And just adding the tree by my office and more art supplies. The 17th, I took a picture of my coffee in the morning in front of the tree, and I wanted to journal about how I've been going more towards small business coffee shops rather than Starbucks. And I used to always document Starbucks in my December daily because I used to go there all the time, but now I really try to focus on going to smaller independent coffee shops. So I wanted to document that here. The 18th, I have this tag with some like journaling about the season being stressful. And so I put like this UGG on here just to kind of talk about the fact, or allude to the fact, that there's negative journaling in there. And most of that is really kind of work related. But again, not journaling like specifics of work, but just the stress of it. Then for the 19th, I wanted to include my Christmas card. So I made this little insert, again, another transparent divider with the date, which is something I did a lot of this year and had a lot of fun with. And then I included my Christmas card, which I made the size of my album intentionally so that it would fit. I was super proud of myself because since I got divorced and my daughter has moved out of the house, I haven't really sent Christmas cards, even though I really want to. I love sending Christmas cards and getting Christmas cards, but it seems weird to do it as a single individual. I do have a boyfriend, but he doesn't want to send Christmas cards. He doesn't want his face on the internet. So I really need to do it by myself to send to like my craft friends and stuff who are going to share their cards on the internet. So I decided to do one about all of my travels from the year. So I took pictures of me in a lot of places that I went during 2025, and I actually put the locations. So I have Doha, Qatar, Seattle, Washington, Marrakesh, Morocco, Cannon Beach, Oregon, Dubai, UAE, Barcelona, Spain, Ait Ben Haddou, Morocco, San Francisco, California, and Abu Dhabi, UAE. So I did a lot, and that's not everywhere I went, but those were a lot of the main places. I'm thinking I might do something similar for 2026 because I am going a lot of really cool places in 2026 as well. But I don't know. I really like going outside my comfort zone to send it, but it's also nerve-wracking. So for the 20th, I took this idea, I think it was from Prep Day, to do collected joys and put these little like pieces into this pocket here, these little like good cheer idea things that I was loving right now. But I don't love how it made it so chunky on the back of my card, and it made the album super thick. I ended up having to not include all of the ones I made because it made the album just way too thick. So I kind of regretted doing that page, and it didn't come together as much as I would have liked, but it's okay. The 21st, again, was about a lot of like journaling. And the 21st was the shortest day of the year. So it was like, I don't know, a good day to kind of reflect on the darkness and light. And I just created this journaling that goes inside here with this little notch so you know to pull it out, and a little tab there. And then on the 22nd, I just wanted to document the fact that my favorite like holiday tradition is actually making this album, which I know is like documenting the documenting, but the album is supposed to be about my holiday traditions and my holiday season, and this album itself is a big piece of that. So for the 23rd, I documented the 24 books that I read in 2025, which I thought was super fun. I just put all of their covers that I grabbed off of Google image searches and made a grid here, and it worked out really nicely. Then the 24th is Christmas Eve. And 24th is when I usually host Christmas Eve when we have family over. And I've done journaling in the past, and we basically do the same thing every year. So this year I just decided to take a photo of all of the food that I prepared and add the 24 on here in this little traditions we love tab, and then just call it good. No additional journaling. And then the 25th was just a quick journaling about what we did in the morning, and which was opening gifts, and it was a super successful Christmas. And then that's it. That's how I wrapped up my album. I had so much fun with this. I think I actually finished this album on Christmas Day, or maybe even the 26th, because it was so simple and easy to do such a small album. So I kind of want to do something similar again in 2026, but I also like mixing it up. So I'm not yet committed to what I'm doing this year. Do you have a plan for your 2026 December daily album? Let me know in the comments below what you plan to do for this season. And I can't wait to see more of where we go with this. And Pumpkin also is excited about December daily. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys all in the next one.